It's the year 2023 and the European Union have decided to go full-on tyrannical as they are officially banning the sale of petrol and diesel cars. Yeah, just when you thought that the European Union can't go further when it comes to their not just nonsensical ideas, but also authoritarian policies, telling the rest of the continent what to do with their own affairs in their own technically sovereign nations. Thank God we've left the EU. I know the whole process of Brexit has not been perfect. We've still got the Northern Ireland part of the UK linked to the EU. We've still got a number of thousands of EU laws in this country, in the whole of the kingdom, which at some point will be removed, apparently. That aside, let's just at least be grateful that for certain broader policies, we are not a member of the EU. Because, do you know what they're doing now? Yeah, they're basically banning cars, normal cars, diesel, petrol, anything that's not completely green. And this is going to be creating some chaos. And as usual, Germany became an exception because they can just be the new spoiled kids of Europe and get what they want to be sorted out done. Now, this issue is about what's going on with the European Union in general, the European Parliament, Commission, Council. They're all in it together. They're all unanimously decided to support the car sales ban from 2035. 2035, that's just over 10 years from now. That's not enough time to be able to make this massive transformation across the whole continent, well, 27 countries in the EU. And this push, the problem we have with the EU is that even if you're not a member of the EU, because it's such an, unfortunately, influential club, that if something like this happens there, then you can easily see it happening in Canada, US, and in Britannia. That's the problem. So because of the global consensus and the way the structure works with not just the financial systems, but everything else, with the net zero policies, they all go to COP conferences and everything else, they all follow each other. So unless you're going to have a prime minister or president who's willing to go against the consensus, then yeah, you're going to have to go with everything else that they do. Now, this issue has created some problems in Germany. So they've decided to struck their own special deal when it comes to this ban. They decided to, initially they delayed this deal because they wanted to phase it out and include e-fuels as part of the exceptions in terms of the category. So cars that use e-fuels, because there's a lot of them in Germany, and especially German manufacturers, they decided to push for that as an amendment, basically. And they say, well, can we at least allow these cars to exist? And the European Union at the end, they said, yeah, because you are basically the boss of the EU, whatever you dictate, we will do. If, for example, Hungary or Poland or any other country or Italy would come up with their own version of amendment or their own version of demands, no, of course they're not going to listen to them. And they're probably going to put more sanctions on them. You know what they do to Hungary and Poland on a regular basis? They don't really listen to member states unless you are Germany, and then following that, France. That's the problem with the structure of the European Union. There is absolutely no level playing field. Now, we've had the executive vice president for the European Green Deal, Franz Timmermans, who's come out to respond to this deal with Germany. But first, let's take a few seconds, look at his profile and his bio on Twitter. So it's absolutely fascinating. So he's got the Ukraine flag, obviously, and he's got the EU flag. Doesn't have the flag of his own country. That's brilliant. And considering he loves flags, you would assume at least he would also include the other countries' flags in Europe. But no. Now, Mr. Timmermans is also very much into his pronouns. And in case you didn't know, in case you couldn't guess from his photo, he is a he and him. I mean, are you kidding me? And his job is vice president for the European Green Deal. Are we kidding me with this? Like, what is going on? Why is this the new normal world that we live in? That not only there are green departments and everything else, it's apparently a new religion. It is. It's the new religion. You think that until now the NHS was the religion in this, the state religion in this country. No, beyond that, green is the new religion. It is. So, this man said, I can't call him man because he did say pronouns as he. All right, cool. We have found an agreement with Germany on the future use of e-fuels in cars. We will work now on getting the CO2 standards for cars regulation adopted as soon as possible, and the Commission will follow up swiftly with the necessary legal steps to implement Recital 11. Okay, so basically that's confirmed now, and Germany got what they wanted. I'm proud of them. Well done. Now, Germany was not the only country that kind of kicked off. Because there were other oppositions from other places. Poland's energy minister voted against the law. Representatives from Romania, Italy, and Bulgaria also abstained. But those oppositions don't get anywhere. Nobody cares what Poland says. Nobody cares what Romania, Italy, or Bulgaria say, because they still have the rest of this protectionist racket, and they got the powers behind it. The bosses from Germany and then France. They can just go and complain about what they want, and they could get it done. It's just completely unfair. I mean, we can always criticize the EU on a very fundamental philosophical level. It's just big government, and it's a foreign entity telling other countries what to do. That's a whole different debate. I'm just now criticizing on a technical level when it comes to the way they are even running their own idiotic club. It's bad, absolutely bad. And it's good. It's good, actually, because this, as the tensions rise, continue to rise, it's going to become its own downfall. Good luck with that, European Union. Let's take a quick break. We're going to come back in half an hour. We're going to talk to you guys about civil servants in this country, because the civil servants who work from home, they've decided to not work at all. They're going to go on strike. I'm Mahyar, Tousi, and we are the media.